Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We got something a little bit different today. I know it's been a while, but we have somebody with us in studio again. That is Caleb Wu from Route 66 Shooting Sports Park. He is the general manager there, and I really wanted to circle back around here and discuss a large event that happened at Route 66, kind of what goes on behind the scenes. I think this is good for everybody to just understand what it takes, first of all, in the firearms community to throw an event, but also, the thought process behind enriching the community. So, Caleb, thank you very much for being here. We
Yeah,
appreciate you
absolutely.
coming down.
Happy to be here.
So, this isn't the first event that you guys have thrown at Route 66.
Right. Yeah, we've had a few smaller scale events. Working with Reno May, one of our good friends. We had our first, and we call it Armed in May. It was, of course, because actually, no, I'm sorry. The first one we just call it Reno May Day. Armed in May was a second iteration where we brought Armed Scholar on board too. But those were kind of our kind of pilot programs to see what type of crowd we're kind of expecting. And then last year around this time, we did an event with Turner's. They're one of our local chain stores, very big in the community as well. But we collaborated with them on a event around this time last year. But this time around with the Route 66 Range Expo, this is our first time running this event, and we hope to have this as an annual recurring event. But compared to the other events, this in scale was much larger. And truth being told, we didn't expect to see the turnout that we had on that day because on social media, the feedback seemed a little lackluster. So we're kind of like, oh, is this event going to flop? And then when it came day of, I mean, Kevin, you were there. So we were caught a little off guard, to be totally honest, right? And we weren't expecting that many people, which good and bad thing, right? Good thing because like there's a lot more people that are able to kind of come out and support. Bad because simply it's a numbers game. More people means longer wait times, and so that also gives us an opportunity to kind of gauge the level of I guess a number of people that we can expect moving forward, and then better prepare for that because we do want everyone to have a good time and not be in lines that they're not totally sure which line is what. So, that's something that we're taking as a learning experience to better.
Well, yeah, and I can tell you as somebody who goes to a lot of gun shows, long lines for ammo isn't the most uncommon thing.
Right.
But I mean, that sounds great. That basically sounds like you guys are seeing more and more success when it comes to holding events at the range, especially at a time where the California legislature is really trying to crack down on that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly the purpose of this event. I think the time, especially following the Bruin decision, this is crunch time for organizations like the CRPA to really double down on these lawsuits because now we have, the Supreme Court kind of setting precedent in how these Second Amendment cases are supposed to be viewed, which means now we're able to see a little more traction, at least going in the right direction. Of course, states are going to do their thing and perhaps violate that decision. But in any case, our whole purpose of this event was to raise not only money but also awareness because it's weird to me, but we have people at the range when we're talking about these events, and they're not even sure like who CRPA is, what you guys do, and we have to remind them like, hey, these are the guys responsible for Freedom Week, right? These are the guys responsible for so many local California court cases that are going out and challenging these bad laws to really allow us to retake our rights, our Second Amendment rights. So the entire purpose of this event specifically was to raise awareness and to raise funds for not only CRPA but our partners at FPC and some of the local smaller chapters that we have locally as well.
So I mean, is it pure altruism? How is it that you come to the decision that, hey, not only are we going to continue and upscale our events, but we're also going to donate you donated all the proceeds. You didn't really take anything in. How do you come to the decision that that is the important thing to do?
At the end of the day, we as a business and as individuals, we support the Second Amendment wholeheartedly, right? That's our whole mission, and that's why we have this place to offer a safe place where people that can come and exercise their rights and to become more proficient, right? That's why we allow more things compared to like an indoor range or other outdoor ranges or traditional firing lines, because we want people to not only have the space to train, but also the ability to train how they're supposed to train, right? Drawing from the holster, shooting on the move, and all those things as well, which you typically can't do in the majority of ranges, not only in California but just across the country. So, yeah, our whole goal is to bring people in to train, to be more proficient, to really just hone in on the safety aspect as well.
Well, and I mean, if you've seen some of our more recent videos, we've also touched on AB 2571 a little bit, where our state legislature is kind of trying to take the firearms industry manufacturers out of our communication, specifically with children under 18 in this state. I'm curious though. You're working with vendors at this event. You're talking to people. Obviously, there's a lot of buildup leading up to the event, a lot of communication that needs to happen. How integral was your communication with those vendors, and how was the response from them?
We presented this event, with full transparency. We're saying, hey, this is the event. We're expecting, maybe 2,000 people, which we'll talk about later on. But with this in mind, we kind of put this out where we didn't charge the vendors anything either, right? So we're not charging a vendor fee. All we asked is that they provided a donation to the raffle table, because the raffle table, as a result, is going to generate additional funds where, again, all proceeds would be donated to groups like CRPA. But with the vendors, they were all more or less on board, right? Every single one. We had just a hair over 50. Not every single one of those vendors were there physically, but they were there in support by donating prizes and resources for us to be able to run the event and really have a really, really, really attractive prize table. We had things like night vision devices, custom guns, all sorts of really cool stuff from all these vendors from different, different verticals, right? So
I remember being on stage calling out the raffles, and there was a lot. I mean, it wasn't even a few, but there was a lot where Reno was reading it off after I was pulling a ticket, and I was just like, "Holy smokes, man!"
yeah.
So there were definitely some good prizes, but I think that's important. So I mean, you not only have you guys as a range, which is a privately owned range, a for-profit range. You have vendors that are working with you who are for-profit vendors. I think it's important for our community to know that, when asked, or not even when asked, but this is on your minds as well, and you are willing, and you're willing to contribute, which I think is the important thing. I think that there are some high-profile issues that a lot of people see, maybe with some national manufacturers that they don't like, but for the most part, when called upon, you guys are answering the bell, and I think that that's really important to communicate to everybody.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, exactly. So, business is business, but at the same time, without the Second Amendment there, we're a firearms business, right? And if we don't have guns, not only do we have a whole host of other issues apart from business, but as a business, we're not going to be able to operate. So a little bit of, selfish intent there, but ultimately it's not just for business, it's for the importance of our Second Amendment rights.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just kind of can't have one without the other,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Well, so let's dig into the actual event. I was there. It was crowded. There was a ton of people there,
Yeah.
which I was excited for. I love being surrounded by people. I love that atmosphere. All of the vendors who set up tables and all of that stuff, they really seem to be high energy as well, which was really cool. You had a couple of great speakers, Reno May being one of them. Can you kind of take me through that day from you and from your lens of running the event?
Yeah, so the few weeks leading up to it was really crunch time, right? That's when people started to start asking questions, and we were able to kind of throw it together, not last minute, because we did have several months of plan, but of course everything kind of gets consolidated towards the last couple weeks leading up to
Sure.
it. But that being said, yeah, we had tremendous support from our vendors that are able to come out, showcase our products, offer special sales, and also not only offering special sales, but those that were offering special sales, they don't make a single dollar off of that either. For example, Magpul Industries, they donated like T-shirts and magazines, limited edition stuff that was only available at the events, and they're like, hey, we don't want a single dollar from these sales. Put all of that towards CRPA. So I think, let's see here. I have a bunch of checks here as a result of that. But yeah, Magpul alone generated about $6,500. Another company would be Savior Equipment. They had these range bag bundles, and again, straight donations. So that was another $4,000 there from them. Hollow Sun, they gave us extreme special pricing specifically for the event only, and then we were able to offer those products at a lower cost to the visitors or to the guests, and as a result, every single penny in terms of profit margin was donated here, and that was about $7,200 from Hollow Sun. And they also have agreed to a match donation, so you guys will probably be expecting a check from them as well, directly from Hollow Sun. And of course, all the other vendors that contributed their products to the raffle table. The raffle, we sold out of tickets, all right, completely sold out. We had 8,000 raffle tickets at $5 a piece. That's about $40,000 in total. We sold out completely. So wow. If it wasn't for the vendors that were able to provide those prizes, we wouldn't be able to have that, fundraising capability. So there's over 50 vendors. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to read through all that without. Perhaps maybe we might do a separate video just to thank
Sure.
the vendors and sponsors, but that would take a little too long just because of the amount of support that we were able to garner from the vendors.
Well, I mean, it's really great to see, and surely individual shout outs are necessary. This is something that's really good that's happening within our community that I think everybody just needs to know about. You have large companies, you have small companies, you have ranges, all coming together to support this fight, support this community, to pave a path for the future of the Second Amendment in California, and I can't thank you enough for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so just a recap, because numbers are kind of like what I like to look at too.
Sure.
We were expecting about 25 to 3,000 people, and on the day of the event, it ended up being just a hair over 4,000 people, which I think has been the most number of people, other than the highway, just in that area, like historically, which to me is amazing. And hopefully that's good information for us so we can better build on it for next year, know what to expect, and perhaps offer more things so that people are able to more appropriately enjoy their time. Total donations raised without the match was about $58,000 or so, give or take. And $50,000 of that is here on the table. In support of CRPA, since again, you guys are the ones fighting specifically for California-related cases, which we all, as residents of California, feel are very, very important to us.
And we're going to keep fighting. So again, thank you so much. This is going to help. This is going to help provide, lawsuits against anti-Second Amendment laws. This is going to help us fight against Senate Bill 918 next year when they're trying to create sensitive places. I got it just one more time. The shooting expo at the range, it was awesome. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with next year. And I very much appreciate you coming out and talking with us about it. So as much as I liked the event, why don't you go ahead and give us a like on this video, or share or subscribe. It really helps with the algorithms to get this information out to as many people as possible. And make sure and look out for Route 66 Shooting Sports Park's event next year.